Welcome to Tea Trail. I'm your host, T-Rad, and on today's episode of Tea Trail, Nature in a Tree, we're going to be looking at my relationship with and my thoughts on social media, or more specifically, Facebook. So I'm really pleased to be back, and it's good to see you guys. What an incredible thing it is, hey? And what an amazing service it has provided, and it has enabled us to connect with people from all over the world. It's allowed for real-time news to be purveyed by real people. It allows us to share our passions and our joys, what's not working, i.e. shining a little light on areas that need light shining on. It's brought so many people together. But then with the plus, it's also got its negatives, which maybe during the course of this video, and me expressing my thoughts and my feelings, it might enable me to draw a clearer picture on Facebook. So I know along my journey there have been a few things which have just embellished my life immensely, and one of those was turning off mainstream news, and also throwing my TV out the window. I don't know, like maybe 4 years ago. I lose track of time, hey? Totally lose track of time. So yeah, losing or disconnecting or unplugging from mainstream media just opened up my world like a lotus flower. And then I'm not sure kind of where it happened, but Facebook was just this incredible new thing, and I was one of the ones who were quick to jump on Facebook. My journey on Facebook has been quite incredible. I suppose there was an attack in Paris, and that was quite a turning point in me. So I started sharing heartfelt views and opinions. We shared opinions on Facebook, and I suppose one of my favourite lessons along the way was that to oppose stuff is just crazy, hey? Because in a dualistic world, without opposition, the stuff that we dislike or rubs us up can't exist. And I guess it's that coming from the blame, like, direction. So it's fine to highlight the darkness, but to point fingers, really to gain an understanding of how everything works, is just beautiful. And the space which nature provides is a beautiful place to lull things over and to gain a better understanding of how we got to where we are. So Facebook, how did it begin? Well, Zuckerberg baby, in Harvard, I think it was, reportedly they came up with it, and then we hear stories of I forget which agency it was, gave them like the logarithm or whatever it was to set it up, and whether it was two dudes in the college dorm or a government agency, harvesting data and collecting lots of personal bits and bobs about ourselves for the benefit, which is quite a strange word for them. Who knows, hey? Well, my relationship was hunky-dory on a personal page, and then when it became treading trail, like the idea of them holding back likes and comments unless I paid them money was, well, it was a pill that I didn't swallow. Something which I've become aware of recently is we just post because we want to post, hey, and I recognise that I got caught up in the dopamine hits, I think it was, looking for likes and constantly checking Facebook. And that distracts us, that gives away our energy, and we're always looking externally as opposed to seeking internally. So quite fortunately on my journey, my phone broke, which I've got a new one since, and I've reinstalled Facebook, but thankfully it doesn't come up with notifications on the actual Facebook app. But I do sense on my phone, the smartphone, that they send me through notifications, and it almost feels like some sort of desperation on whoever sends those messages, that they want us to check in. They want us to keep on picking up the phone and disconnecting from the power that we have within us to check and kind of get caught back up in that dopamine hit situation. So I'm in a really good place now, that as part of my journey and the spiritual path is recognised that loneliness and time to ourselves is a hugely valid aspect of us reintegrating ourselves into the whole. And Facebook for me had become a place where, I just went on there and scrolled through. And that in itself was a barrier for me, spending time and just sitting with emotions and thoughts. It was a drug, hey, Facebook, and looking at it, it became a dependency. So many people do, they just walk around looking at their phones all of the time. And for me, like, just as I like my foods, whole foods, straight up, with their jackets and their skin still on, Facebook kind of goes through this filter, and well, it just makes me question, hey, that who gets their hands on it before it gets out to the other side? The logarithms that are placed that keeps us so cool within a specific group of friends, which is questionable, I think. We are the creators, and it's the stories that we tell which ultimately influence consciousness. And I had got caught up in the stories in the press about the downside of Facebook, about people influencing others within certain parties or groups. Even if I was to look at my friend list, like, there are some people who I know and love physically. Love everyone, right? And there are some people I don't. And then that kind of leads me to question, are they people? Are they beings? So it left loads and loads of questions that I wanted to answer, and I could only do that with time away from Facebook. That made me smile whilst the football was on, which I only watched the one game where England got through to semi-finals, quarter-finals, I think. And there was an advert on TV saying, "Oh, come back to Facebook, come back to Facebook. We're making changes to make it a better place." And again, it felt like a lot of people are waking up to the darkness which might have infiltrated Facebook. And then something which I love, doing incredible edible, which plant fruit and veg in public places and make that available to other people. Was growing food our original Facebook? Is that how we came to meet up? Like every other day, weekly, when we brought our wares and our food to a meeting place and we shared the goodness, which was organic. It was local. So for me, I love to be able to see the change which I can help instigate in my local community, because it's palpable, if that's the right word. I can see it, I can feel it. I love that one from Jesus, love thy neighbour. And I think the TV and the media has opened us up to like the worldwide situation, which I am part of. I recognise, we are the one. But for me, like real change happens in our villages. And the amount of time people spend on social media, when if all of us were to spend 2 hours putting into local projects, we could transform this world just so quickly. And it spreads from where we live. Something Facebook has been incredible for is gaining access to knowledge, and wisdom, esoteric stuff, which is so valuable to the betterment of us as individuals and society. I'm so grateful for what Facebook has allowed. I believe I got caught up a little in the stories which were being put out there about Facebook, and quite often the stories are put out as like a double bluff. So when something is going really well and it is allowing humanity to gather speed and repair itself through just being able to control our DNA, learning about the corruptness within governments and banks and the guys who run those. There's also the one then about it being a drug and actually distracting us from ourselves and us becoming dependent on that. our bodies are just the most incredible pharmaceutical establishments, and when we can go within and clear out densities and awaken our own centers of energy, that's where the magic is. So I will go back on Facebook. Treading Trail, I'm not sure whether just to do as like my public page or keep it as Treading Trail. But sharing my story is hugely important, not only to me, but to the rest of the collective, which is me. We are the universe, and I have to tell my story, or I choose to tell my story, because it is valid. I'm unique, I'm part of the whole, and I love you guys. So this has been T Trail. Yeah, like I say, really good to see you again, and I'm pleased to be back. I hope you're all well. Always here if you need me. I feel called to do a video on shame and the collective pain body which has gathered around it. It's something that kept me running for a long time, and to be able to turn and face that shame, to recognize it, to feel it, to be able to talk about it, just opens up so much within me. And I think it will help a lot of people out there. So there you go. I've been T-Rad. This has been T-Trail. This is Nature's TV in a tree. And yeah, I look forward to speaking to you all soon. Alright, peace.